So are you prepared? Tonight around midnight at my house, we had a power outage. And no matter how prepared you are, there's a small sense of panic that sits in, no matter who you are. And then you calmly push down that panic, and then your preparation takes over. You know, there's a saying that failure to prepare is preparing to fail. And I know it sounds a little cliche, but it rings true in every sense of the syllable of all the words in that statement. It's so true. I feel that I prepare my home and my family for most all situations that I think that we could encounter, whether it's a heat failure in my house. When you live in a cold climate, you need two sources of heat, and those two sources of heat typically need two sources of fuel. So whether you have propane and you have oil, or you have propane and you have a fireplace somewhere, you always need to make sure you have that. Well, during a power outage, you need to make sure that you always have fuel on hand. You have your generator that's ready and prepared, and you've tested your generator. You make sure that it's actually working on a periodic basis, not just when a storm's coming and you go out to get milk and bread and eggs. You really need to take responsibility and get out there and do what you need to do to prepare your family. I have 6 kids and a wife. No one else is going to take care of us. Something that I was doing tonight is I was getting the generator prepared. I was setting it right. You know, make sure if it's not a fixed generator outside, you get it positioned outside of your house as far as possible. You make sure you have your cords hooked up. You make sure that your electrical panel is shut off. And here's a couple other things that people may not think about. On the side of the house or the room closest to where the generator's outside, make sure you have carbon monoxide detectors out within the room at the windows. Even on the exhaust where it goes out from my boiler, I have carbon monoxide detectors along those sides of the windows, just to make sure if there's some type of problem, you know, you have those in place. You know, smoke, the same thing. I've got smoke detectors in every hallway, and then in some of the rooms I have smoke detectors within the rooms themselves. But all of these things are super important to make sure that you're prepared. And it's not just being prepared that you get things together, but you really need to practice. And that's something that I tell everyone. I actually made a video running my generator when I got a new generator, and that's just not just testing my generator to make sure it works, but that's putting a routine in place and really practicing and showing that you know what to do in a situation, that when that emergency situation presents itself, your training takes over and you do what you need to do to keep your family safe. But when you set up a generator, make sure that both you and your spouse know how to do it, whether it's male or female, it doesn't matter. Everyone knows how to do that. That's an adult in your house, and they can turn on your generator. Make sure your house gets power, or if it's a generator that you just run an extension plug inside. But you also need to know, whoever's going to do that, the safety parameters. Don't run it with a garage door open. Don't run it, you know, in a garage, in a home, in a confined space. Make sure you have proper air movement, things like that. These are all little things that you need to prepare for. Here's another thing that you need to prepare for. Making sure that you have charged batteries and you have different lights. I digress. This conversation is just about emergency preparedness. And have you thought things through, and are you doing everything that you need to do in order to keep you and your family and your friends safe? Thanks everybody for listening. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye now.